Okay, so today we're going to talk about transitive verbs. In order to do that, I want to briefly refresh your memory on transitive versus intransitive here, in which the transitive verbs, having the prefix, the root word for trans, meaning to transfer, for example, is saying the verb is transferring meaning from one side of a sentence to another. He seems likable. Adjective, likable. The linking verb, seems, transfers, is transitive, saying he is this adjective. He seems likable. Intransitive, again, think about the prefix of the word here. What is it telling you? In and un in the English language tell you that something is not. The vase is unbreakable. You can't break it. It's made out of special material. So intransitive means there is no transfer. So many words in the English language are intransitive. Basically, if it's not a linking verb, then it's a transitive verb, or an intransitive verb, sorry. So, examples. I ran. I ran, subject. Predicate, noun, verb. He stopped. She rested. You do not need any other information in this sentence because you have an intransitive verb. You can say just this and stop, and you have communicated successfully with other English-speaking human beings. That's all it means. There's nothing particularly special about your intransitive verb. It just means you can say something that simple and stop, and it's a complete thought. It is a full sentence. All right. Having established that, we can talk about pattern 6. Pattern 6 is for your intransitive verbs. Alright, so, simple, let's stick with simple. The cat napped. Easy. Right? Cat, noun, napped, verb, and of course, determiner. So, your diagram is equally simple. So, pattern 6 is not going to have a bunch of stuff out here. That's for the other patterns. As you are getting ready to find out with patterns 8, 9, and 10, there are going to be a lot of stuff out here. So pattern 6 is your shortest, simplest pattern. It actually looks a great deal like pattern 1, except the purpose of pattern 1 is to handle an adverb. There's no adverb here. We could add one. The cat napped forever. There's a hyperbole. It is a distinction about time. Adverbs have to do with time. When did something happen? Yesterday. It happened today. Happened last week. Or, in the case of this particular hyperbole, you are joking and saying that your cat just kept sleeping and sleeping and sleeping. Because it's an adverb, if you have one in your sentence, it goes under the verb, in which it now looks exactly like pattern number 1. But it's not pattern 1 because this is an intransitive verb. Pattern 1 is for the verb to be, which is a linking verb. So that is the difference. So last time I said 2 and 4 are related, 3 and 5 are related, 1 and 6 are related in a sentence. Except we have now entered into intransitive verbs. So, again, adverbs always go under verbs regardless of where they occur in the sentence, because they don't always occur at the end of the sentence like this. Alright. Let's talk about an imperative statement, a command, in which the subject of the sentence is actually hidden. We have a lot of these in the English language. Stop! It's command. The understood subject of any command like this is you. But we don't say it. How do you diagram this? Exactly like this. In parentheses, you write the word you, because it is the understood subject of the sentence. It's that simple. Alright, this is a good time to look at some of the fancier diagrams before we move on to sentence patterns 7 and 8. Let's deal with some prepositional phrases. Last time I showed you how to deal with a pedestal. This time we're going to use the more normal way of including a prepositional phrase in a sentence. The moon disappeared behind the clouds. The moon disappeared. Where? Behind the clouds. So, this is a prepositional statement, or phrase, that answers the question where. That means it is adverbial. There's an adverb in this sentence. Alright, you need to focus, again, on what the core of the sentence is. The core of the sentence is moon disappeared. Subject, noun, predicate, verb. And this is, by the way, how you do this in grammar. 1 line, 2 lines. Alright, so what does this look like? Well, it's pattern 6, so as usual, it's very simple looking as far as what is on this line. The core of the sentence is moon disappeared. Determiner, the, goes under moon, the moon disappeared. Now you have to deal with the prepositional phrase for where it is. It's behind the clouds. Behind is your preposition. As I said before, prepositions, like determiners, go on slanted lines. Behind the clouds. Alright, clouds, noun, it has to go on a horizontal line. By the way, you're supposed to have a little, I'm supposed to extend the line so there's a little bit of line left when this horizontal line comes off of it. Just the way it's supposed to look. And then your determiner. Behind the clouds. So this is how you deal with a prepositional phrase that is modifying something on the main line here. Where did it disappear? Behind the clouds. So the prepositional phrase has to belong to the verb because that's what it's modifying, what it's describing, what this phrase is for. It is an adverbial phrase, so it has to go under the word disappeared. Again, reminder from last time, all nouns, I'm saying it one more time, folks, all nouns, all verbs, horizontal lines, determiners, and prepositions, slanted lines. Keep track of that. You're really going to need it when we start in with patterns 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alright, let's do one more example. The students rested after their very long trip. Students rested after their very long trip. When? When did they rest? After their very long trip. Again, this is an adverb, a prepositional phrase that is acting as an adverb. It's adverbial information that belongs to this intransitive verb. To rest, rested in this case. Alright, so what does this look like? Again, always go to the core of the sentence. Subject, predicate, noun, verb, students rested. Of course, you have a determiner, as usual, and then your prepositional phrase. So, being pattern 6, you're starting with students rested. As usual, please don't forget to add your determiner on its slanted line. Now you need to deal with your prepositional phrase. Again, Prepositions slanted. After. After what? Their very long trip. What's the noun in that phrase? Their very long trip. Trip. It's a noun, has to go on a horizontal line. Their very long trip. Okay, so there is a determiner. A particular kind of determiner in this case is a possessive pronoun. And it's a long trip. There's your adjective. But it's not just a long trip, it's a very long trip. Just like I was explaining last time. The word very is actually modifying the word long, or adding more information. It's a very long trip. So when you see the word very show up in a sentence, that means it belongs to the next adjective, or perhaps adverb, such as very quickly. It would belong to the adverb in that case. So you need to create a little L, upside down L shape, and put it with the word it belongs to, in this case, long. The students rested after their very long trip. So, nouns, verbs, determiners, preposition, adjective, adverb, explaining the adjective. All sideways. Okay, so this is pattern 6 in a nutshell. The best way to try to determine if you have pattern number 6, even though there are going to inevitably be more words in the sentence, is to look at that verb and go, okay, is this a linking verb, like looks, sounds, seems, smells, or the verb to be, or is it intransitive? Can I just stop? Can I just say the students rested? Yes, you can. You can just stop there. You don't have to give us extra information. It really is extra. Isn't you're like, okay, it's extra information. And this is an intransitive verb. I could just say the students rested. Then you're with pattern number 6.